Hello friends, welcome to this channel, Center of Excellence Pharma 4. In this podcast channel, we focus mainly on the latest developments into the technology, challenges into pharma industry, and how this can help pharma industry to achieve Pharma 4 and operational and business excellence. In this episode, I'm going to discuss about pharma meets the metaverse, what's new for digitally native medicines. This is 116th episode. I'm sure you are listening our earlier episodes also. Please do share your comments, your feedback, share with your network and subscribe. So let's start with the more details about our concept about Center of Excellence Pharma 4. Dr. Jayan Joshi, that's myself, has designed this concept keeping in mind about the new emerging technologies like cloud, artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, robotics, chatbot are coming up, and how this technology in integration can help pharma industry to support regulatory requirements, digital supply chain management, and achieve business excellence. We have shared this content onto our website, respa.com. We have also designed a course, Smart Manufacturing in Pharma with 20 modules, which is available on Udemy platform. Our YouTube channel was launched about 5 years back, has got more than 380 videos covering from strategies to audits and validation. Podcast channel you are listening right now. We have also a book series, Center of Excellence Pharma 4 on Amazon, and these books are available on Kindle as well as paperbacks. So let's start our discussions about the agenda. I'm going to discuss about the introduction, 5 pillars of metaverse-enabled pharma innovation, digital clinical trials and patient engagement, immersive medical training and education, virtual healthcare delivery and telemedicine, remote patient monitoring and predictive health analytics, pharmaceutical marketing and patient education, market dynamics and strategic value creation, ROI and value creation metrics, implementation excellence and strategic framework, future directions and strategic evolution. So let's start with an introduction. As we know, the pharma industry is in a transformative mode. It's converging the various technologies, and Metaverse is one of those technologies which is really working on digitally native building up of medicine platforms. This is reimagining the pharmaceutical innovation from molecular discovery to the patient treatment. So when we are really discussing about the digital adoption, we are covering the areas from uh, drug discovery, drug development, and going up to the patient treatment side of. And Metaverse is revolutionizing all this more than the technology novelty. It's connecting. It's the fundamental evolution is basically towards the digital adoption from the medicine's point of view, from the drug discoveries to the drug distribution and all. These deliveries are through immersive experiences and optimized to the real world data integration. So this is what is the most important thing what we discuss in digital transformation, because we are now looking at it data-driven decision making, which really helps to achieve excellence. The market valuation and its projections are expected that is maybe around 9 billion presently, but by 2035, it's likely to cross more than 200 billions. That's a growth rate of around 31% year to year and all that sort of thing. And this has got an impact onto the healthcare professionals who are now getting active digitally and all this thing. This virtually is a first approach which promises the drug development timeline from initial to maybe 20-35%. So that is what is the benefit which industry is expecting it and all. Now, how this is going to transform the pharma industry? As I was discussing, it's a convergence of those various technologies into a virtual environment is expected, is projected, and that is what is its objective from molecular discovery to the patient treatments and all. This is persistent in connecting the virtual worlds and the augmented reality interfaces. You must have listened to my earlier episode where I discussed about the augmented reality and virtual reality. So these are going to be the interfaces, and this is going to work along with an artificial intelligence, which is really going to adopt the digital therapeutic this, from the patient's point of view and to the from shifting from the traditional healthcare systems, because now with augmented reality, virtual reality, the patients are getting connected. There is a better communication. There are variables are available. This get integrated into the digital systems, and that is what is the thing where metaverse is really going to contribute it around. So digitally native medicines are really going to come, which is really existing into primarily into virtual spaces actually. This will deliver through the immersive experiences, and it's going to be a continuous real world data integration. That is what is so more important, because you're connecting those patients, their information and all that through into the systems, which can even lead going to the drug discovery stage also. That is what is the objective. So let's look at it, what are the pillars which are really going to contribute it. So this is virtual reality is going to help in the medical device training and all. And this is what is it's a high market adoption, because it's we'll observe that today 85% or 80 to 85% markets are really looking, thinking about adoption of this virtual reality to the medical devices training. No? And this will improve the proficiency by around 50% because of the immersive situations, simulations, and all that actually. This reduces the training time. See, as you know, even in medical devices and all, many new discoveries, new ideas, new things are coming up and all that. This needs to get it into the training through the marketing teams to the patients and all that. That is what is more important. And this with the metaverse, with virtual reality, it can really reduce that training time significantly and all that. And this is where we want to adopt the digital transformation, digital systems which will there. And this becomes a risk-free practice actually. The healthcare professionals can practice with the complex procedures even in a virtual environment. That is going to be the benefit. So we are really looking for adoption of these new emerging technologies to benefit to the patients and then the equipment, no, like wearable devices and all that sort of thing. This is going to create a value about the expensive equipment. As we know, into medical things, a lot of new instruments are coming up and all that. And that is, these equipments should be really used in an effective way. And that is what is the objective where the metaverse will contribute it actually. Uh, Immersive surgical education is also there. As we are aware, a lot of doctors are now adopting these robotic technologies, and surgical education is really required to operate at remote locations and all about the various operations and all. So convergence of metaverse technologies plays a very important role. This virtual environments are now available, and digital native platforms are being created, they have been trained, they have been used effectively, which is what really helps the patients to get a support from really expert doctors who whose services are available to them at that particular locations and all. This is where the technological evolution is coming up in healthcare practices, healthcare services and all that. So persistent virtual worlds are now getting integrated into reality world. That is what is the big benefit. And artificial intelligence can also contribute it into this digital therapeutic translating the uh, healthcare models and all that. That is what is the adoption of this meta systems and all that sort of thing. Now, market growth, again, as I mentioned earlier, is expected to reach from 9 billion to 200 plus billions by 2035. So it's got a huge opportunity and all. And simultaneously, development about this virtual reality is going to play an important role and all. And that can help into supporting to the patient at the same time reducing the development times and all. Clinical trials also can have a cost savings and everything also. So virtual pharmacy training is a big opportunity where high market adoption is coming up. Helps in improved training effectiveness. Immersive trainings environment like this, it can simulate the real pharmacy operations, and that will enable the practices of the complex procedures which are there. And this will lead to the competency assessments, about those health service providers, the skills which are really going to support to the patient, support to the doctor, support to the hospitals and all that sort of a thing. So this will address the critical needs at that particular level to build those skills with the pharmaceutical professions and all. And these interactive, realistic scenarios will help the entire healthcare systems and all that sort of thing. Virtual consultation environments can be built up. Uh, this is going to be a big, again, market opportunity because today, for the patients to come to the doctor's visit and spend the time and efforts and the traveling and all those costs can be really reduced. That eliminate the traveling barriers which are there for the patients and all also. So healthcare deliveries can be developed, and sophisticated metaverse platforms will be available to the entire healthcare ecosystems and all that sort of a thing. And this will be able to engage the healthcare expertise to the patients and all this sort of thing. Comprehensive patients assessment, about the various tests and trials and experiments to be done, and to offer a personalized care systems is really going to be availability to the patients and all that sort of a thing. So patient can have a better interactions with the experts and all. and this improves the communications and patients' understanding and all this. So patients are more safe, they have more confidence, patient centricity goes on improving it and all that sort of a thing. So this is where we look at it as the digital therapeutic deliveries and all that sort of thing. So high market adoption can really help to build with the adoption of virtual reality to the uh, personalized approaches, personalized treatments to the patients and all. Now, FDA has also designed it, they are also accepted it, they are also promoting it, and they are also uh, uh, forward looking for the breakthroughs into these various emerging technologies which are really coming up and all that sort of a thing. And this is where there is a shift from our earlier traditional systems about the pharmaceutical interventions with the patients and all to the virtual reality digital systems and all. And that is what is the benefit to the patient as well as to the doctors, to the meta technologies, and to the pharma industries also. So I'm just trying to show with a diagram how that remote patient monitoring can really help actually. So we start with a proactive healthcare management with the capturing about the real-time data for tracking and adjusting to the treatment plans and all. This will go to the high market adoption by remote monitoring, and this will lead to the continuous health exchanges, no? Like we discussed about last episode about the IoTs and all. So there are wearable devices are there are IoT sensors are there are AI-powered analytics are there. These are the things which are really coming up. This gets integrated into a meta system with an seamless integration with Metaverse platform can lead to the patient cares to the continuous operations and all. So this is how that cycle starts moving up. So I wanted to show you that and explain you how the things will work and how the things will go on helping the patient's centricity, patient confidence, patient safety. At the same time, the real-time data captured by the IoT devices are available for more analytics and better treatment to the patients and all that sort of thing. This will lead to the predictive health analytics also. So anticipating the patient needs, artificial intelligence systems can do that continuous analysis because now, as I mentioned, with IoT data, the big data details are available on a real-time basis, which can continuously get analyzed and all, and that will predict the health conditions about the patients, and then the necessary treatment can be offered it and all. This is the timely interventions and all. This will also do the preventing the adverse health conditions. So artificial intelligence systems will prevent adverse events, no, if there is a thing, and early detection can offer a better treatment to the patients and also managing those chronic diseases, critical illnesses and all get supported it and supporting to the aging population at their own locations is very important. So this is how the entire meta system, the digital system with a predictive health analytics with an AI interface will be available. So interactive patient education also will be there because with a high market adoption, maybe uh, 80-85% patients can be reached and then they can be offered the required advice and support services and all that sort of a thing. This will increase the medication adherence and all that sort of a thing. So improves the medications to the patient. This will also reduce the treatment failures because there is a continuous monitoring, continuous communication, continuous data sharing will be there, continuous learning will be offered to the patients and all that sort of thing. So this is where the earlier passive things will move to more active learning and active supports to the patients and all. So this is where the long-term behavioral change will also happen it with the patients and all this, right? Virtual medical conferences are also available uh, with the doctors, with the nursing staff, with the healthcare professionals and all that sort of a thing. This will reduce the 80% adoption by virtual medical conferences. Traveling cost will be reduced and all that sort of a thing. And this will build a global knowledge sharing also because finally all these things today work with on a knowledge. Now this knowledge captured with IoT, with wearables and all, it's shared locally as well as globally. And then those experiments, experiences can really lead to better innovations and all this. This will transform the medical educations also, and that will help to the healthcare service providers and all this. Right? So in some cases like the pandemic and all that sort of a thing where the new things are being observed and all this sort of thing, it can really help to overcome those challenges faster and all that sort of thing. Now, again, coming back to the market growth and investment landscape, as I mentioned earlier, it will grow from 9 billion to maybe around 200 plus billion with 30% growth rate and all this sort of thing. So there will be a broader metaverse market which will be growing up, which is also expected to grow very fast, and adoption is really going to help. Uh, you must have already seen those practical experiences into the industries with your friends, relatives, and all also. So this digital pharmacy market, digital healthcare market, they are all increasing, and that's what it is a big potential and all that. Now this will work on two things actually. One is the technology adoption, and second is the digital transformation. Two things have to really work, and this is where you have to really focus that how technology, that is basically I mentioned about the IoTs, wearables, the data capture, data sharing, data storage, and more important is that analytics of the data. No? Artificial intelligence should really help with that. So this is where a lot of advanced technologies which are really coming up can really lead to better analytics and all that sort of thing. And this investment into data analytics will lead to good investments into this particular thing. And the metaverse is infrastructure about the cloud, IoTs, wearables, and all needs to get integrated. And this necessary infrastructure will lead to a comprehensive system for the healthcare management and all. And that implementation will be very useful for all patients' point of view and all. The training efficiency is more important because this needs knowledge sharing at all levels, uh, from the technology level, from the people, the skills who are going to adopt to it, who are going to teach and train to the doctors and nurses and the healthcare service providers, and reaching to the patients and all that sort of a thing. So this is going to be a big contribution, and this we expect that around 30-40% or 50% improvements will come by more learning and all that sort of thing. So the cost and safety benefits are really going to come. That will reduce the training cost and all. And the value into the pharma industry will be there because this complex training requirements will be shared through the metaverse systems and all. And that will prevent the significant cost and the compliances issues and all that sort of thing. Now, technology integration is more important. As I mentioned earlier, also, this integration of augmented reality, virtual reality, those devices like wearables and all, cloud computing platform, along with the artificial and machine learning algorithms. This everything needs to get integrated. That is where it is going to work it on. Now, this also will require a high-speed internet connectivity, cybersecurity, and all these things are also to be taken into consideration. And it should also support the regulatory compliances and the data security. As you know, the patient data is a very sensitive data. Equipments data, machines data, instrument data is also data because it is capturing all those parameters and all. So that data security should be also taken into consideration. The complexities are increasing, regulatory requirements, expectations are also increasing, data privacy concerns are there, critical natures of the healthcare applications are also there, and these are the various challenges and considerations are there. So interoperability and system integrations is really going to be a big challenge into the global healthcare system. And this is where the therapeutic areas and global markets are really going to move with the adoption of this metaverse technologies and all. Regulatory compliances and validations frameworks are also there. Metaverse technologies will really help into this actually. FDA is also working on to designing those standard requirements. European medicine agencies are also designing those guidelines for the digital therapeutics and all that sort of a thing. So virtual reality will have a work onto the breakthrough technologies and all. Now, clinical trials efficacy and then the data integrity is also going to work important role. But with this metaverse technology, these things are easily possible and adoptable and all that sort of a thing. Only thing is that you should also keep it in mind about the validation challenges, which are really required at the clinical trials levels where you are uh, designing the different types of experiments and carrying out the data from the patient's point of view and all. So when we discuss about this emerging technologies, quantum computing is going to be a big contribution, mainly from the molecular simulations and drug optimization point of view. This is again a new emerging areas which is going to contribute a lot. And the advancements into artificial intelligence, which will really help in virtual environments because we are now linking, connecting from the patients, healthcare systems, providers, doctors with the new instruments and healthcare systems providers and all. So feedback from all these systems with the neural interfaces is going to enhance these capabilities. Quantum computing applications, which are really going to help into the pharmaceutical research areas, mainly into drug discoveries and optimization. So AI and metaverse platforms, holographic medical educations, and integration with digital twin AI and metaverse is really going to be a big potential market, as we have seen about the market growth rates and all that sort of thing. Now, to achieve all this, you have to have a strategic partnerships. No, you have to think about the industrial leaderships and all that sort of thing because we are really looking at it of the integrations of the various service provider, technology provider, the operating teams into the healthcare and along with the patients and all that sort of thing. So strategic value, you have to really work it out. You have to establish the virtual capabilities and innovations, what really you're planning, how you are going to enhance the patient engagements and build leaderships into this and digital natives medicines or adoptions is going to be a more challenge along with the biotechnologies which are really coming up into virtual platforms. Now, virtual platforms with the metaverse are based onto the uh, again integration what I mentioned earlier also about the medical education, digital therapeutic deliveries and all. And that's basically a challenge from the patient engagement point of view. And this is where we are really going to shift from earlier traditional systems to the digital system to the metaverse systems into the healthcare deliveries and all. Right. So we discussed these various topics onto our other social platforms also. We have built up a digital ecosystems, keeping in mind about emerging technologies, digital transformation, pharma, and the patient with the healthcare systems and all. Do look at those platforms also. Share your comments, share your feedback, share with your network also. Thank you. Bye.